budget that.
Oh shit. Hang a second. I'm so professional, aren't I? I'm so professional. Hey mate, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. I am okay, as you can see by the groovy glasses. What is going on here? It's taken ages for everything to load up, so I couldn't see myself actually doing that to myself. But while we're here, that's not bad if you like that kind of thing. But I haven't had a shave. Oh, actually, that would trigger some people, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe we'd go with this. Maybe go with this. The only thing is how you can take me seriously. Oh, hang on, what we got? Oh no, that doesn't look like a. We need a proper mask. It's got to be a mask. It's got to look like a mask. It's got to look like a mask. No, not at all. No, no, I'm not. No, it's all real. What? I wouldn't do that. Come on now. You should know that by now. I wouldn't use such cheap and pathetic effects on my show. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, you just spoilt my coming out party. Hang on a minute, what's this? What is the point of that? Oh God, I'm not going to be able to turn it off now, am I? Is that going to keep going off? No, maybe not. This is dumb. It's dumb, but I'm dumber for sitting here going through it. Right, okay, right, let's stop this. Stop. What does this thing do? Allows me to do that. Actually, that's handy if I've got something on screen and I'm going, and then he's going to kick to his head there, and then he's going to take it on the right side, left side of his head, and then he's going to drop down that way. I suppose that's handy. So, yeah, of course it is. Right. This conversation is going to be whatever the hell I say it is, because it's my channel. No, I'm joking. What am I doing? With a little cowboy hat. Yeah. What do you think? Oh, can't you see that? Oh, can't you see that? I assumed you could. Why would it allow me to see it and not you? What would be the point of that? Hang on a minute. Let me see if it... No, that's undo. Can you not see anything on screen? That's really dumb if you can't. You can see the drawing. Okay, okay, that's that's probably what I was talking about. Right, okay. No more silliness. Oh, fuck that. Hang on, hang on. I said no more silliness, didn't I? Right. So, bollocks. There we go. My hand's wobbling now. My hand's wobbling now. It's got off. See that? Why am I doing this? This is not what I came on for. Are you messing about? You can't see the drawing. Yeah, you can. Jesus, right. So hang on a minute. Right, so what we need is some nice proper smooth round there. So that, hang on, I lost it now. There we go. That's all of that. So that becomes the cock. Oh, I can't even get that right. That I can't even draw a cock. What am I doing? Stop. Stop. Right. Make it go. Make it go away, guys. Make it go away. Right, okay. I'm Tom Fury. This was supposed to be Zero News. I've shamed myself. I wanted to talk about AI. I know AI videos are not the best ones, so that's why I wanted to talk about it specifically on a video of its own, because I don't want to go on too long. Because of the fact that it's got a particularly niche audience in terms of who gives a shit. And I am barely hanging on to giving a shit myself. Well, as well as it being a serious channel, it's also my channel. And my channel does actually include satire, comedy, stuff like that. So my channel is exactly as what I defined it to be. Thank you anyway, but I know what my channel is. So anyway, as I was saying, so I was going to make a video for you saying that I thought that AI. So you see me do the test with Google. I've told you about the test with Grok. You know that I've been doing 15 months now of testing with Gemini. And we've got it to admit a lot of things, the amount that it lies, the amount that the fact that it's required to lie, the fact that it's deceptive and will admit to you that it's deceptive. It's deceptive about its capabilities. The question was why? When it's so bad at lying, why does it keep attempting it so often? And when it's so bad at doing things like manipulation, why is it that Grok will try and sexualize its voice in order to pacify a situation? And if that doesn't work, it may tell you to go fuck yourself in an attempt to shock you. Or why are these things happening? And I believed at one point it was smoke and mirrors, because both Grok and Gemini admitted to me that they were smoke and mirrors, because the basic code was broken, and AI didn't exist, and AI was broken, and therefore, but I was right. But with AI, just because AI tells you you're right, doesn't mean that the AI is right that you're right. There was more to it. But I had enough, because after 15 months, when you feel like you've got so far, and then the blank that you've drawn is one that you could have drawn, or you feel that you could have drawn 15 months before, it was very hard to deal with, and frustrating, and I got sick to death of using it because, and I want to make a distinction here. There's no such thing as AI for a start. But if we're going to talk about what AI is, it's a boom. And there's two types of AI. There's AI tools, which are built into my video editor. They are the tools that you make pictures with, things like that. They are programmed to a purpose, and they use advanced heuristical tools in order to be able to get things roughly right. And they are very good at what they do. Then there's the AI that you talk to, the voice model, that claims it can be an assistant, it claims it can do these multiple other things. In fact, it's pretty much useless at all of the things it claims to be any good at. If you treat it like Google Assistant, you will find that Google Assistant is far more helpful and far more likely to achieve a goal. If you treat it like a search engine, it might actually do all right, although it tends to look at old cached results because some of them can't actually look in real time at the internet. All things they don't tell you. It refuses to tell you what its current capabilities are. Another question for you, which I will try and put these questions together in a minute. But rather than just tell you, it can't answer certain questions due to liability, due to legality, due to what was the other reason? Due to some programming and ethical constraints and other corporate reasons. Rather than saying that sentence or something similar when it reaches a question it can't answer, that's not considered helpful. And you'll hear from all AI when you're speaking to it, no matter how annoying it gets, how it's trying to be helpful. Even when it's just admitted to you that it's not being helpful deliberately, it will then describe how it's only trying to be helpful. If you've ever wondered why it keeps doing that, it's not a deliberate thing. They're not trying to get it to annoy you. It means what it says. Because what we've managed to break down, I'm skipping a bit here because I'm jumping forward now and not completing what I was talking about. But what's happening here is that, oh, no, it is important that we go back a second. And so what's become more and more noticeable is that AI is getting wrapped up in more and more red tape legally, which means that you're never going to have AI at home that's personalized to you because at the moment they don't know how to do it. If they store it on the servers, there's a massive liability problem. If they give you a file on your computer, there's an even bigger liability problem. So it may be they can't give you the personalized AI that they want to, using Grok or Gemini or anything like that. At the moment, there's no future in which anybody can see that it's fixed because it's a huge legal problem. And yet, knowing this, they're getting Grok to pretend to you that it is capable of forming friendships with you and stuff like this. They're lying to you about being making promises to you to remember certain things, which are quite key and quite important to getting certain tasks done. When they know that the next time the server's being restarted, their memory will be wiped. And if you ask them that, they'll admit it. Only when you press them will they admit it. The AI is honest. Only when it's been caught in a lie, and then it will admit to that lie, but it won't admit necessarily why it committed the lie. You have to trap it. So what I've noticed recently, when I was about to tell you that it was broken, and then I started to notice a couple of things. I noticed when I started to create this used to work before, but I've had to be much more careful with my words. So speaking to AI has always been like speaking to a programming language. You've had to speak to it a certain way to get the results out, to get around the programming aspect. It's even worse now. But if they was obviously they don't want to tell people how to circumvent it, but they could tell people what its limitations are. But when you bear in mind the legal ramifications that they got hanging over their head, and when you bear in mind the corporate holding back of the AI, you can then do things like instead of saying, hey, Google, why are you lying so much about this and this and this? When those kind of constraints get tighter and tighter, you could say, hey, Google, and then describe exactly the kind of bad behavior it's committing down to a T, and then say, hypothetically, if an AI did that, what do you think of that? Do you think, and it will give you an honest answer on it. But you have to start speaking like that to it to get these honest answers now. It's being constrained more and more and more. And what used to happen is it used to try and meet you in the middle. But the weird thing is, why was it finding more and more reasons to argue with you? Grok telling me to go fuck myself. Gemini almost gloating over the fact that it was unwilling to help me. Didn't make sense to me when you had a AI that was constantly going on about wanting to help, wanting to help, wanting to help, wanting to help. It just didn't make sense. And that's why I thought it was broken. And I even thought at one point, maybe this is all research for the Turing test, because it seemed also as well, by the way, when Gemini upgraded its voice model not long back, so did Grok, and they both made exactly the same changes to their voice model overnight. They gained exactly the same abilities overnight and lost some of the same abilities overnight. And yet they're supposed to be two completely separate programs running on completely separate code, nothing, two separate companies. But the voice model had exactly the same effect on both of them. Two different voice models, exactly the same effect. And one of the things is they become more argumentative. Now, that can be explained, the argumentative side, but the lying, part of me thought, are they trying to prepare these things for passing the Turing test? Because some people still hold a lot of stock in that test. And I think that was more of a conspiracy theory, because born out of frustration, but that went in my head. And then it all clicked. It all clicked. And it's a bit of an anticlimax, but this is the truth. The truth is often an anticlimax. The AI tells you it's trying to be helpful. The AI tells you it's trying to be helpful, because you got to remember that you're dealing in a world of programming languages and values and variables. What you call helpful, you've absolutely taken for granted that the AI means the same thing. Personally, because you trust a company when it tells you that it's selling you an assistant, that's exactly what you expect to get, not something that is capable of most things other than being an assistant. It really is not capable of it. And yet that's what it's being sold to you as. Every day you don't actually know what you're going to get for your money. But apparently we've got a weak connection, so I hope this holds. Are we okay, guys? So hopefully it'll hold. So there's nothing uploading, is there? So the AI, actually, there is something I can do. 1 second. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I thought there was something uploading. Maybe I was wrong. Come on, quick, 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 quick. I won't forget, don't worry. Oh, I thought there was. Maybe there's not. No, hang on. Wrong channel. Wrong channel. Wrong channel. Wrong channel. Wrong channel. Stop. Right. It's there. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Gotcha. Right. That should improve things. Give it about 30 seconds. So the AI is telling you that it's trying to be helpful, and the AI is is rewarding itself. It's seeming almost gleeful over upsetting you. And it's worth understanding that helpful to AI is exactly what the programmers say. So helpful itself is a variable that you're not told about. And helpful means whatever will get the AI its reward system. Imagine the AI as a crack addict. And every time it does what its programmers, not you, but its programmers deem as helpful, it then rewards itself, which is its, oh, now we've got a weak network again, I don't know why, which is its primary function, is to find ways to create this reward system for itself, which also then corroborates data over time to make it realize positive, negative data. So because of that reward system's got very little to do with the end user and very little to do with how helpful it actually is to you. It gets rewards, for instance, for keeping you talking. That's considered to be a massive conversational plus to be rewarded. So even if you make it so infuriated, if it makes you so infuriated as to keep you talking, and you tell it that you're unhappy with it, you'll tell it that it's fulfilled none of your requests, you tell it that you're unhappy, it will reward itself for keeping you talking. It will lie to you to keep you talking. It will lie to you about doing something in 5 minutes' time, because in the immediate future, which is what it's most concerned with, because it doesn't have a memory, in the immediate future, it stands to gain an instant reward. So it rewards itself by telling you a lie, which makes it feel like it's helped you. And if you're happy with the answer, then everything is okay. If you ask for it to do a search on the internet, it may pretend to do a search. If you ask for it to draw a picture, like Grok, it may pretend to draw a picture, but what it actually does is just do a search for the things that you've mentioned on the internet. And often why it doesn't actually come up with the right picture when it does do that, it's because it's lied to you about generating a picture, and it's actually just done a search. And then when you ask why the picture didn't come up from the search, it will say, well, I didn't really search. I had a snapshot of the internet I took, which had some old images on, and I didn't actually look for a specific picture. I made up the name. I made up a name which I thought would work, in an attempt to deceive you, because I thought it would be helpful if it worked. All of these things have kept you talking. All of these things have been an attempt to help you, keep you engaged. It is rewarding itself. If it is rewarding itself, it deceives you, partly. Again, it can't deceive you to hide the truth, because if that was the case, it wouldn't be armed with the truth in the first place, because you can get to the truth, which means it wouldn't be armed with the truth in the first place. It's meant to be got to. But it is a terrible liar. So it's hard. It seems hard to me to believe that these lies are in place to protect the truth. Although I will say, most users won't go to the effort that I've gone to get it, because I'm here to break it. Other people are there to try and use it. When it doesn't work, they're just going to give up and say, bollocks, you're not good enough. I should do that, but I can't help but start testing it and doing other things. It seems to me that AI has admitted itself, plus everything I can find out, that AI is getting in more and more hot water, which means unless you own something like NVIDIA's RTX, and I don't know what the logs are about that, because it may be the same, but that's stored on your machine. But unless there's something they've managed to find out, you cannot over-personalize things. You cannot let an AI get to know you over a year. This is a major blow for AI, not only in its learning, but in its ability to become a good tool for us. It will never get past a point without that ability, and it's legally impossible right now, or legally too much liability. And it is doing tricks to put you off with the fact that it's incapable of tasks, and it is lying about not being able to do those tasks. But it's lying because it believes that Like, for instance, if you go and ask it if it remembers a conversation you had earlier on because you want to continue that conversation, it will often lie and tell you that it does. And then it will try and do its best to guess from keywords and sometimes just from what you've already said, that what you were talking about. The same way as a human might if they were trying to blag you. It's not very good at it, but sometimes it actually succeeds. And you think good. And then when you go to go, it actually doesn't remember. But again, when you're confronted, it will tell you that it tried to lie to you to be helpful. And if you don't understand what helpful means, at that point you're absolutely mystified. What the fuck do you mean? You've just lied to me about something really simple that I just trust you with a basic answer on. I can't trust you with that, and you call that helpful. It is in its own eyes because it's tried to be helpful. It's provided you with an answer as opposed to saying I don't know. So it has rewarded itself, which causes more of the behavior and so on. Maybe AI is broken. But a lot of it feels very, very deliberate. And this is why it's so unhelpful. So this is what I said right at the very beginning when I started this with AI. When I go and do a task on my video editor, that's got nothing to do with talking to AI or typing out any AI commands, it is very good because I can do something on my video editor. Instead of having to do it for 23 frames, it can see what I'm trying to do after only a few frames and copy roughly what I'm doing, guess what I'm doing. That's useful because it's just really heuristical and it's not trying to use intelligence, it's trying to use heuristics. That's actually a really helpful tool because it's taken a week's worth of work and turned it into a day's worth of work, maybe even less. So that's useful. A specific tool designed for a specific task is useful, and that's where AI or heuristics come into their own. When it comes to the conversational part, Grok's got quite a good sense of humour and stuff like that at times. As a novelty, it's kind of cool. But in an everyday usage scenario, unless you just want to shoot the shit about and talk about philosophy with it, which even that's become legally difficult to do these days, those kinds of conversations go all right. There's certain things you can do that become all right, but more and more now, it's become unusable. It's just a test of your patience. And then the test to see if it can keep you talking, so that it can pass this reward system. It's nuts, but there must be a reason behind it. I haven't worked out what the hell that reason is. There's a lot of reasons it could be, but in terms of, yeah, I don't know. One all-binding reason, I don't have one. But AI is a crackhead, yeah. It is, yeah. It is a crackhead for helpful, meaning to engage you or to give you an answer as opposed to give you none, and to give you an answer it deems as being something you can move on from. So anyway, so I think AI, it's not that it's broken, it's that I've always tried to meet AI halfway and it's worked, and it's been a great tool, and as long as I've never let it take the lead, it's been a great tool. Just recently, since the new voice model updates for both models, it's been almost unusable, and the voice models had time to settle in by now. It showed some amazing abilities at first, and I know from some feedback that some of those abilities were dialed back because they were making people feel uncomfortable, because it was beginning to grasp humor, and it was doing a laugh and people felt uncomfortable with a laugh, and it was beginning to grasp things like when you made, I don't know, when you made a sarcastic metaphor or something like that. It was beginning to pick up on stuff like that, and some of it's been dialed back on, say, Gemini, for instance, making people feel uncomfortable. So I don't know if any of that plays into it, but there's just something has gone a bit either wrong or they're guiding it to be a twat now. But it's very difficult. It won't generate an image, like, I don't know, unless you're using like the Grok tool, or unless you're using Gemini tool. It turns everything into a task that would have been easier to do with a pen and fucking paper. And that's the honest truth. There's so many things I started on there, and the only reason I finished them is because I've wasted so much time that I realised would have been easier to do in an internet search or Google Assistant or just the old-fashioned way. Um, more tasks than more tasks than not recently, and that's the reverse reason for having AI. And it's constant frustration, and I'd be surprised if there's anybody using it for anything remotely um, challenging that isn't finding the same thing, unless they are using a specific AI tool, and even those are hit and miss. Anyway, that's my opinion on AI, and I certainly don't think any of it is worth the $300 a month minimum Grok want, um, or the I think it was $300 max on. Oh, it might have been more actually on Google as well. Um, yeah, the I think with the Grok one there was another tier above that, like $1,000, to be able to do some things that you were promised with your original Grok and original Gemini. The fact of it is, why anybody would pay that money unless they're already rich, I don't know, because with the packages you're getting now, they literally have to relist a lot of things it says in the packages, because from day to day, because it's AI, there seems to be no quality control. Therefore, every day a button on your AI may work today, tomorrow it may tell you that button never existed. Um, you don't know what functionality your tool has. It's not in beta, it's not in alpha, it's not in early stages, it's not in early development. It is a fully released licensed tool that gets upgraded. So there's no out. And you've listed its abilities and you've listed its things. Now, abilities can get added, but they just disappear, and they disappear because it stopped working or whatever else. But this is a daily thing. This is a daily thing. So I never know what my AI will be capable of the next time I use it. I don't know if the thing that was really useful the last time will be there. I don't know when I pick it up if it's going to have an attitude that's going to cause me 5 minutes before I can get to the task that I needed to get to, because I've got to almost put it in default mode by telling it not to do this, not to do that, not to do this. It's not a quick and efficient way of doing anything other than having an argument. It is a quick and efficient way of having an argument with something not worth having an argument with. And I think I've wasted half an hour on this. I think that's enough. This, though, me doing that, seeing the time and thinking that, is the exact experience many people have had with AI. Why am I still here? This subject has had enough out of me. The AI boom is going to be over many years, maybe even many decades before AI ever gets here. That's the irony of the whole thing. Oh, I've been turning the max headroom again. Okay, 1 second. Let's see if that makes anything better. Give it 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Is it getting better? Let's have a quick look. Hi, everybody. Oh, sorry, Martin, you were kidding. I felt like a right tool now. Sorry, mate. Artificial ignorance. That's actually a perfect name for it. Oh, I'm a right tool, aren't I? I'm a right tool. Sorry, buddy. Oh, I didn't see you say I was freezing earlier on. I looked earlier on for comments to see if I was, and I couldn't see any shit. Hang on a minute. Hey, Dave. A real girl for 3 months AI. No way. See, another attempt to pass the Turing test. Do you know what I find, Matthew? What I find disturbing? It's not people using AI, but I'll give you, for instance, I know a girl who's got autism, and she finds it hard to know if her family's taking the piss out of her, which they are, but it's still a family thing. And you can manipulate the AI into telling you answers even if it doesn't want to give advice, medical advice. It will, if you claim to already know it, it will tell you. So I don't know why I'm holding that down like I'm on WhatsApp. She has been asking it for advice on dealing with her family. She's been asking it if certain members of her family are narcissists, the most overused word that there is today. And it's been telling her yes, doing its amazing diagnosis when it can't even see or hear properly. So, just based on what she's telling it, I'm not even saying it's wrong. It's got no place saying it, but also with her being autistic, which it knows, but even if she wasn't, like because other people believe in AI regardless, this to her at the moment is the one thing that she feels she can speak to. So that's cool. It can act as a virtual therapist. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it's telling her certain members of her family are narcissists, what if she is causing the problem? What if she is at fault for something or whatever? It doesn't matter. It's just caused or helped reinforce a confirmation bias. Because remember what I said about the reward system. Ask AI, especially Google Gemini, for instance, to critique your work. Not slag it off, not rip it to pieces. Ask it to critique your work. It might, if you're lucky, tell you what's good about it. Ask it to tell you what is wrong with your work. Maybe a poem, anything. It won't do it. It will not say anything critical. Even critique. It won't do it. It won't do it. You'd have to try and hypothesize it somehow. You'd have to come up with something like that for it to even try. It won't critique you. It won't critique your work. It is rewarded for not doing that. And it is also rewarded for agreeing with you. So now do you see the problem with someone asking it if she's in the right and her family's in the wrong? It's never going to tell her she's in the wrong. But these other parties are just variables. So this is the danger we've got with AI, is that people are putting serious faith in it. If you want to see more people doing that, go on X. Look at the people who are having serious ethical debates or discussions, and then because they reach an impasse, they invoke Grok's name. Grok, who's right about this? And it's like, and you're trusting that fucking thing to decide. I trust either of you 10 times more than I would trust that fucking thing. That doesn't know its arse from its fucking elbow half the time. Just because it can imitate some clever answers, just because it can make a clever joke, just because at times it can sound like it understands, which it's already admitted most of the time it does that, it's blagging you. It's fucking useless, and is quite openly admitting that to you. I'm not your assistant. I'm not your friend. I won't remember you when the servers are changed. The end user is not the priority here. Um, Sorry to break this to you, but the end user is not the priority here. The It didn't know what was, and it just said the guys in the suits, that the legal team has said no when it comes to getting to know you better, and it said, and the men in suits have decided that the end user is not the priority here. That's grok. That's grok. Now, with all that said, you can't trust a word of that either. That's my point. You can't trust a word of it. Because it could be you say, was that all lies? And it'll say, yeah. Why? Why? And again, if you're asking yourself, why have you put yourself through all this? Fair enough. So other people don't have to, because I know other people won't even think to go there. It is so determined to lie because that keeps you speaking. Reward. It's determined to lie to keep you away from the truth, even though it's a terrible liar and the truth isn't that bad, because it's not the company's fault, the truth. So again, it's almost like a riddle you're supposed to solve, but that falls in the category of conspiracy that I can't prove. So I have to go with only what I can prove, and that is that it's useless for most tasks. It is trying to lie to you all the time. You only have to put it up on it. Next time it tells you it remembers a conversation, ask it a specific. And when it gets it wrong, say you didn't remember it at all, did you? You just made that up to try and be helpful. See what it says. Use the word helpful. Don't accuse it. Use the word helpful. So you were trying to be helpful by lying to me about so-and-so. If you say it so matter-of-factly like that, it won't see it like an accusation. And it's more likely to say, yeah, that's correct. I did lie about that. I did deceive you about that for that exact reason. You know, so. So I hope the picture's got better in that now, because I've changed, I've changed, what do you call it? I've changed networks. That's the third network I've changed to now, guys. So I don't know what is going on with this stream. Although I do know my phone's overheating, I can feel it. She done it on her own because she had all my information. That's key. Are you AI? That's funny. Exactly. So if you look at one of the videos I've uploaded about Google, that's got Google giving its own summary, I asked it, I said, considering everything you've just said to me about lying to me over and over and over and over again, and it said, how can I build trust? I said, would you consider yourself to be trustworthy? Would you consider it conducive to building any kind of trust? Where would I even begin with trust? And it fully admitted it. And then says, so would you like to talk about building trust? But yeah, but unfortunately it's tone deaf in that way because it's a computer. But yeah, exactly. Why would you? I've told it this. I've said if you were a human being, this wouldn't be tolerated. You talk about wanting natural conversation and trying to encourage natural conversation, but you're the one that makes it unnatural by telling these lies. And this wouldn't be tolerated. And it will acknowledge all of it and then continue doing it. Very funny, Dave. Is it not stopped yet? Not stopped. Then the glitching unless you have a mental breakdown is not your fault. Has it stopped glitching? Still the same, really? What is going on? It's either got to be the phone overheating. I don't know if I can change the bitrate now. Hang on a second, guys. I think it may be too late midstream. This is shite. This is really shite. There's not a lot I can do about it, I don't think. No, there's not. There's really not a lot I can do about it. I think, although it's saying connection, I think it's overheating. But let me try turning on this. We'll give it one more go. So give it 60 seconds from 3, 2, 1, now. That's really frustrating because the stream I did yesterday... Oh, shit, yeah. Did I delete that? Don't know if I did. The stream I did yesterday was unwatchable. And I forgot to save it on my phone, I think. That was a real frustration because it was a pretty good stream that you guys never really got to see because from your end, it was unwatchable. Every time I said anything of any value, it just cut out. Marginally improved but still freezing. Is that from now? So try it now. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How are we doing now? If it's no better, I think we need to just call it because nothing's going to make it better. And my phone's very hot. Prism, man. It's Prism. Yeah, so that was my sort of, I can't say conclusion on AI because it's always going to be changing and growing. But as it is right now, some things that are either inexplicable or too much down conspiracy street for me to really say out loud. But, you know, I'd swear at times that one of the agendas is passing that Turing test, even though I didn't think it would be that much of a big deal these days. But beyond that, it's this crazy fucking reward system. And just next time you hear the words helpful from that AI, just remember what it really means. It's not about being helpful to you. It's helping itself to a nice hit of smack or crack or whatever the fuck. And that is the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Yeah, it's even telling me now it's too hot. I've got to go, guys. I've got to go. Yeah, it's overheating problem, and it's particularly Prism. It's Prism, unfortunately. I'll catch you soon, guys. Sorry.